There are two debates that I think will never be resolved. The first debate being which is the better investment, gold or silver, and the second, whether people should buy fractional gold. There seems to be three main camps when it comes to fractional gold. One camp is buy whatever fractional gold you can afford. Another is save up and then buy a larger piece of fractional gold. And finally, you should never buy fractional gold because of premiums. I've covered this topic of fractional gold in 3 other videos where I've covered foreign fractional gold, commemorative, and traditional fractional gold like 1/10, 1/4, and a half ounce coins. Generally, I fall into the camp that whatever size you can afford is the best size of gold to purchase, with one exception. And that one exception is based on the premiums, which is why, as a general rule, you shouldn't really buy anything smaller than 1/10 of an ounce. Premiums is probably the best place to start because we need to compare apples to apples. No, not play apples to apples. Come on, let's just stay focused here. As I've covered in previous videos, what I see as the biggest challenge is people tend to compare fractional premiums in terms of how many dollars you spend over the actual cost of an ounce of gold, which can quickly become expensive when buying the smaller fractionals. But that argument is often used to make the case of why you should buy silver and then use the gold to silver ratio to swap your silver for gold later on. Here's the problem. When you actually compare the premiums on fractionals, you quickly see that in many cases, your premium on a 10th ounce coin is about the same as a 10 ounce bar. Take a look at the screen and the coins and the premiums and the sizes and let the math reveal the truth. The cost is comparable and the premiums are actually pretty close. The issue is we compare buying a fractional gold to buying a 1 ounce gold coin. But what do we compare when we talk about silver? Nothing, because there isn't really a direct comparison unless you want to use the gold-silver ratio, which I've argued about in previous videos. Let me just summarize this point by saying, if you do the math and a fair comparison, the disadvantage in terms of premiums are similar when it comes to buying fractional gold or silver in general. Which leads me to the next issue. While it's better to buy gold by the ounce, it's just not the reality for many of us, and we simply have to work within our budget, period. And in fact, I'm going to give you several reasons and scenarios that highlight why fractional gold just may be a better buy right now over a 1 ounce coin. And just so I don't bury the lead, I'm currently shifting my stacking strategy from 1 ounce coins to fractional gold for what I believe will be the next 4 to 6 months. While I didn't do a price prediction for 2023, I strongly suggested that this year will probably be about volatility for a number of reasons. I fully expect this to play itself out with gold doing very well through February, maybe even March, and then I expect the reality of the rate increases, consumer debt, layoffs, and a number of other economic factors to really kick in, and then in the fall, prices will resume their movement upwards towards $2,000. Until then, I expect gold to be very volatile as prices zigzag up and down, back and forth, which leads me to reason number 1 on why you should be stacking the frac right now. Fractional gold can serve as a hedge against price volatility that I think we will see. You often hear me say that we have to be patient and wait for the market to indicate where it intends to move. I also understand that this may be challenging for some of you, especially for those that are big believers in dollar cost averaging. So regardless of the size of your stack, one strategy can be simply to drop down a size, say going from a half ounce to a 1/4 ounce, or even looking at gram bars. I like this because it accomplishes a number of positives. It allows you to continue to stack and stay active in the market. It allows you to save some extra cash that could be used for bigger purchases later on. And if our thesis is wrong and prices do continue to go upward, at least you have some purchases at the lower price level, hence it being a hedge. So next we need to talk about the other reason, which I think is diversification. While most of my LCSs take the stance that it's 6 in one and a half dozen in the other, there is some value in having some smaller, more divisible coin sizes. And while that doesn't mean a ton to me, it does allow us to do some fun things like collect other coins and maybe buy some overpriced coins and not feel like we're wasting too much money. I know some of you find great value in being able to collect a variety of coins to make your stacking more interesting, so I totally hear that. The third reason is flexibility. Having fractional gold can also come in handy when it comes to conducting future purchases. Your ability to pick up a few fractional coins now could make purchasing full ounces easier, as you could use some cash and a fractional coin to actually upgrade to that full ounce. You know, we never know what life is going to throw at us, good or bad, and the ability to close a transaction without having to use all cash may be valuable in the future. Which leads me to the biggest reason and potentially the best opportunity I see coming, which is fractional premiums. I want to be clear. This is pure speculation on my part. But after what we just saw in the silver market, I believe there is a strong possibility. So let's play the crazy game of price predictions. So let's say in the near future, gold reaches $3,000 an ounce. A gold, 1 ounce gold coin would then be around $3,200. At that price point, I'd imagine a lot of people would be priced out of a 1 ounce coin. Place yourself in that situation. Well, what would you do instead? Buy whatever size you could buy, which would create an interesting supply and demand situation where fractional gold would become even more sought after because of its price point, making fractional golds harder to get, and the market would respond by doing what? Increasing premiums. Now, in a normal market, we talk about this all the time that we get very little of our premium back when we sell. But what did we just see in the silver market with Silver Eagles? Silver Eagles were going for $15 over spot, and at one point the buyback was around $7 or $8 over spot. If you're one of those people who actually bought Eagles when they were 50 cents or $1 over spot, there was a great opportunity to sell your Eagles right now, collect the extra premium well over what you paid, and for every 3 or so Eagles that you sold, you could get back 4 ounces of generic silver. As a quick aside, this is the one and only scenario I've ever seen where we're actually able to get some of our premiums back. But at the same time, you do need to notice that it only worked if you bought right in the first place. Regardless, I believe this is exactly what could happen when gold finally takes off. And let's say it did reach that 3,000 number, and then the general public decides that they want to get a little gold and they try to enter the market. Remember what Rick Rule always talks about. Right now, about 0.5% of people hold physical gold. And historically, that number is around 1.5%. So imagine what would happen when the number of buyers triple and supply remains the same. Yeah, they're going to increase its premiums, of course. And if a Silver Eagle can have a $15 premium on a $20 spot price coin, making it more than 50% of a premium, what would that look like for a 1/10 ounce or a 1/4 ounce gold coin? I could actually see a situation where the buyback on fractional coins, particularly the smaller sizes, would get to a place where that extra premium could be used to help you upgrade to larger coins with lower premiums. The key here, though, is having a plan in advance so that when the time comes, you can take advantage of that opportunity. This and for all the other reasons I've listed, this and for all the other reasons I've shared are why I really think that this is an opportunity to stack more fractional gold right now, because down the road, it's going to become more valuable. In the comments section, tell me, am I crazy? Do you think this theory makes sense? What are some of the other reasons to stack fractional gold? If nothing else, always feel free to put an A+ in the comment section to let me know you follow this video all the way to the end. Always stack smarter, never stop learning.